Libra, welcome to Libra. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Terrascope for Libra, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the sky this month. On November 4th, we have a full moon in Taurus, and that is happening in your 8th house. So the house of regeneration, the house of, usually it's called the house of sex, death, and taxes, but it's a house of transformations, of things that are hidden. So with the full moon there could really be something that's been beneath the surface that comes to light right around November 4th for you, Libra. And it's usually, because it's Scorpio, it usually relates to deep-seated feelings, but it's also happening in Taurus. So it could be something that is very practical and very obvious, sometimes related to things that we own. So you may, for example, receive illumination, or a spotlight could be shown on a secret about something that you own. Or I'm even getting that some of you find something that has been hidden for you. It's funny, I just saw the wish fulfillment card pop out, where it was like, I'm getting potentially a piece of jewelry that's been missing, and you suddenly discover that it's been like under the couch or hidden in the couch. Just strange things, but things that that we own. Taurus is usually things that we own, possess, values, assets. This did pop out too, so I get that for some of you, it may be going from one place that felt like deep charged waters to a smoother horizon, something coming to the surface that's very healing for you, Libra. But usually Taurus is about what we own, what we possess, what we value. And I get the sense that something that we value is coming from the deep surface to where it's seen. So from the deep levels up to the surface is really what I'm seeing. And now that could be something that's tangible, possession, asset, money, finance, body, or it could be something that is of value, something that comes to the surface for completion, for illumination, spotlight being shown on it. God, I'm getting a secret is being revealed for some of you. Something that has been long buried or long hidden comes to the surface. And it could be potentially things that you enjoy, because Taurus also rules pleasure. Anyway, so that's the full moon in Taurus in your 8th house. Again, regeneration, something being reborn. Then on November 18th, we have a new moon in Scorpio. And this is in your 2nd house. So there's a real polarity here between your 2nd house and your 8th house. The home placement of Scorpio and Taurus. And 2nd house is usually the home base of Taurus, but we've got a new moon in Scorpio happening there. So it's when the sun, the moon come together is when a new moon arises. And you also have Jupiter there. Jupiter just moved into Scorpio October 10th. And so this is great blessings and expansion of your 2nd house, which again has to do with finance, possessions, assets, money, beauty, the body. So really, with this new moon in Scorpio, in your 2nd house, it's going to be a wonderful year for you, Libra, of drawing to yourself assets that you have wanted, possessions, values. It could even be like intangible qualities, like patience or kindness, or things that are of value. Whatever it is that you value, Libra, you can really begin drawing this to yourself over the course of the next 6 months, and even over the course of the rest of the year, because Jupiter is going to be there in an expansive, supportive role in your 2nd house in Scorpio through November 15. So if there's something that you would like to acquire, even if it's like a lifestyle, even if it's something that you want to possess or own or have, you can set an intention around this new moon in Scorpio. And I'm even getting, for some of you, it would be having a feeling of like contentment or peace or joy. Those are very valuable things. So set an intention around this new moon in Scorpio of what you want to draw to yourself. and watch it develop over the course of the next 6 months. You have an opportunity to have it be like a little plant that you water every day and watch it grow. So you get some nice results by the time we get the full moon in Scorpio in May. And then also continuing throughout the rest of the year. And you may even begin to reap fruit from whatever it is you plant now. By the end of the year, it may come into some nice fruition for you, Libra. So let's get right into the cards. For what is coming up for Libra? Last month has been a bit of a challenging month for some people. We had that Libra new moon, which triggered a lot of you Librans with decision making or feeling like you have to choose between two things. It was very clear energy, but it could be a little harsh and direct. And I'm really getting that November is going to be a lot softer for everyone. Let's see what's coming up in November. So first thing out of the gate, we have Knight of Wands in reverse, followed by Three of Wands. Maybe a good time at the beginning of November, Libra, not necessarily to take action, but perhaps to vision and dream. Three of Wands is about looking forward, waiting for your ships to come in, planning, dreaming, envisioning what it is that you want to draw to yourself. And because Knight of Wands is a card of action and of fire, it may not be the right time to take action on something, but you need to, for some of you Librans, I'm getting that you need to revise your plans or plan forward a little bit more before taking action on something. Be sure, even if you may be like courageous and bold and feeling confident about something, I'm really getting the message that it's worthwhile to make sure all of your plans are in place, or maybe even add to those plans. You have none of it drawn up, but it may be worth your while to go through and get a complete picture of what it is that you would like to do or accomplish or draw to before taking action on something. Yeah, and I'm getting that these kind of, see how these three energies are coming up? This is planning, and this is building something that is on a strong foundation. And this is also creative projects. It is potentially multiple streams of income. But I really get that looking at what actions need to be taken before you take them really leads you to strong and stable results, Libra. Think of it as like building a house. You don't just start like buying the lumber and tacking it up. You create blueprints. And if you think about this Three of Wands card, that's really like a blueprint card. Like, what is it that, how many rooms is this house going to have? How many bathrooms? How many floors is it going to have? What do we want it to look like? What do we want it to feel like? That's what this stuff is about. This is sort of more of the architect or the dreamer or the planner. And then this is the worker taking action. So I'm going to really say, Libra, for the opening of November, whatever it is that you're doing, don't let it be like fire energy that's uncontained. Even if you're feeling confident, even if you're feeling like, okay, this is what I want to do, really take a moment to plan, think things through, be creative. Both threes are creative energies. And then implement your plan based on strong foundations, practical earth energy, slow moving, one brick at a time, making sure that brick at the bottom or the cornerstone is really fixed and set before you put the other bricks on top of it. That's going to be far more, it's going to reap you more benefit than just taking action that's kind of scattered and not planned. And also this features Three of Coins group projects. It features collaboration. So the more people that you can involve with this, not thinking that you have to do it all on your own, will really help you. And for some of you, I'm getting that a business plan could be helpful, or involving a mentor who helps you develop your plan before taking action on it. And then you create something beautiful and something that creates coin energy, which is reward. What else is coming up for Libra? Emperor in reverse. You may have a hard time with the boss right around the full moon. Some of you be leaving your jobs, or you'd be forced out of a job around that full moon in your 8th house transformation. There may be a conflict with someone who is in authority or who's trying to dominate the situation. If that's the case, they just don't have the same vision as you. If you look at this card, Three of Wands and Emperor, whatever the project is, whatever it is that you want to create or do, you have a different vision of it than this person. This person's saying, you need to do things the way that I say them, according to the rules. You need to follow directions. You need to do things A, B, C, D, E. Whereas Libra, I'm kind of seeing that you have a greater vision here of something you want to create, maybe involving others, but I'm just seeing that you may be looking in different directions from whoever it is who appears to be an authority. This could also just be like a grandparent or a parent or someone who's um, in a position of authority or an elder. Maybe this means that you want to do something creative and add to something, and they're just saying, like, no, let's do it the old way. Let's do it always how it has been. So just consider that, Libra. This is going to definitely feature other people. So getting collaborative input will really help you this month. This is Eight of Wands in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, Hierophant, and then Empress in reverse. Towards the end of the month, we have Wheel in reverse, Nine of Swords, Five of Swords in reverse, and Two of Swords. Okay, a lot of swords energy at the end of the month. That's your element, Libra. You're an air sign, and swords represent air, thoughts, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. So in the middle of the month, you've got Eight of Wands in reverse followed by Ace of Wands in reverse. What this tells me is that you're narrowing down something that leads you to a new beginning. You don't have all the information yet. You don't have the answer that you need to proceed forward yet. This is blocked communication often, Eight of Wands in reverse. In the upright position, it means getting information, getting news, getting communication, things happening rapidly, just waiting on that last puzzle piece, things being 10% lined up, things happening swiftly. Or sort of like the pot of water is finally boiling or just about to boil. But with this in the reverse position, it's saying that I'm almost getting for some of you that things are unraveling, or that you just don't, it's not 10% up. It's still in development. You're still waiting for that last piece of information, that last puzzle piece, some more information or communications that be in delay before you can proceed forward. And that's why this Ace of Wands be in reverse as well, is that there is some delay in the new beginning coming in. But once this gets narrowed down, once decisions are made, you get clarity on this. And this is Ace of Wands. It's a passionate new beginning. This is the image of the runner in the race who has the baton, who's running forward with energy and vitality and fire. And because it's an ace, it's always a new beginning. It's also like the parade leader, the person who's twirling the baton at the opening of the parade, signaling new action, new life, new celebration. So there's something that is coming in that's taking you forward, Libra, in the middle of the month, but it may be in delay until you get the needed information, or you sort of make the decisions, whittle it. You have any options that you're whittling down to one option that you take action on. So what I'm really getting with these three cards, in fact, even considering this one, is it's worth the time. All of these are fire cards, which represent action, passion, energy, vitality, desire. What I'm really getting with this is that it's worth the time to spend thinking about things, to make choices, to receive all the information that's needed, to create the blueprints, do things according to planned action, rather than hasty action, doing things just to like knock it out and get it done. Fire in all directions, uncontained fire energy is what Knight of Wands is, and like this is unbridled, things just going in all directions, communication, coming and going. I really get the sense that narrowing your focus, getting clear about what you desire to create, getting clear about what you want your results to be, will really enable you to run forward, to make that decision, receive the information that you need, the news, get things to a point where they're ready to take off, and then run with it. So really, at the beginning of November, Libra, whatever it is that you're involved with, take the time to think it through and think about what your results are going to be based upon your actions before taking any action. And then just run with it. Wait until you get that last piece of information, and then it's time to go. So middle of the month is going to be a really great time to begin that new project. But you need to clear out any of that fear, resistance, doubt, lack. Maybe I'm getting this river image. When you come down to the end of the river, whatever that might mean for some of you, that will be the time to take action. The Hierophant also is showing up for you middle of the month. So this too is saying, do things in a way that considers the group. Do things in a way, interestingly enough, you have Hierophant in the upright position and Emperor in the reverse. So both of these are about authority. Traditionally, Hierophant does have to do with doing things in a conventional way, in a traditional way, according to the rules. Both of these have rules, but the difference is that this one is concerned with the benefit of the group. Emperor is about structure and order and foundation and rules as well, but he's really just interested in his empire. He's really interested in what are the laws, how do things stay in order, systems building, him being in charge, his word is law. Whereas Hierophant is interested in spiritual matters. He's interested in what benefits the group. You can see his hand is pointing up here. So what benefits the group? What is the higher elevated application of this law? I kind of am seeing a difference between Emperor is like the letter of the law, and Hierophant is like the spirit of the law. So use those energies. This could be like a boss who is strong-headed and dominant, and this is saying, do things conventionally, and do things fairly, and with the thought of the group in mind, and that will get you some nice results regarding, success in terms of this project. That's also what will turn around Empress here. This could be a power couple that is trying to dominate and control a situation. Or this could be a long-standing couple. Empress and Emperor are a natural couple. So what is turning them in reverse is potentially taking action before things are formulated. So again, really, Libra, take your time in dreaming what you want your results to be. Do things in a conventional, practical, traditional sort of way, and that may enable the result of what you're working on to allow for this couple to come together. Otherwise, there may be friction there. There may be that this person's trying to dominate and control, or this person's trying to call the shots, or just like throw action at something without planning it through. A traditional, conventional approach is going to help you here, but only not in an emperor sort of way, not in a dominating by the letter of the law kind of way, but more in like the spirit of the law. This is also the marriage card. So I'm really seeing for some of you, if the woman's feeling upside down and the man is feeling upside down, or the two parties are feeling upside down, you really need to work on it. Some of you may be working on your marriage this month. Hierophant's in the upright position, and he shows access to spiritual secrets. This could be like something that you're working on in terms of your marriage, potentially a home-based business, and you're not seeing eye to eye with your partner about how it goes or how it takes off. Plan it together before taking action or implementing something. There's real success here with Hierophant in the upright position, but neither of these partners can claim control. They have to work on it together. He's balanced. There's two keys to unlock this lock. And there's some really nice, beautiful, there's a cathedral full of light and reward that can be worked on. First half of November can really be working on your marriage if you're in a marriage, or working towards something that's a partnership that helps bring the partners from being upside down into balance. So you may need to call upon a counselor, a third-party counselor, because this is 3 energy. This is the high priest, to bring about order and peace. Hierophant is also working in with this 3 energy, bringing that third party in, maybe an interlocutor, a counselor, a referee, a therapist, someone who stands in the middle before action is taken and helps develop this plan, this spiritual plan, by the way, to help bring these two back into order. Then I also see change is happening, but some of you be resisting it or worried about it. This is wheel in reverse. And this is, when wheel is in the upright position, it's saying that you allow things to unfold naturally. You allow things to take their course. You allow time to take its course naturally and turn the tables of time in a even, natural way. When it's in reverse, it's saying that something's in delay or it's taking longer than you expect. That's also echoed by Eight of Wands in reverse and Knight of Wands in reverse. There's something, all three of these say something is taking longer than you think it will. It's in delay. You don't have all the information yet. So really proceed. I'm not going to say so much proceed with caution because there's really not that much to be worried about as much as you think there might be. I'm just going to say proceed with patience. Allow things to come naturally. Allow the right time to begin. Don't force a beginning. Don't force this new passion. Allow it to arise after you make the deliberations, after you receive all the information. And try not to force something to happen faster than it will, or to delay something. When it's in reverse, it says you want things to happen faster or slower than they are. Try to let it happen at its normal, natural pace. Things will be changing here towards the end of the month. And I really get Libra around this new moon. Here's she's sitting on this new moon. And here's this new moon again. Around this new moon on November 18th, something's going to change. Change will be in effect. So allow it to be in effect. Don't work against it. Don't swim upstream. Even if you have thoughts of stress, anxiety, deliberation, feeling like you can't trust something, or indecision where you just want to check out, allow the change to happen naturally. This means, Nine of Swords just means getting overly wrapped up in your head, splitting hairs, creating problems where there's not. The opportunity with this card is to just be at peace and recognize that you're in a safe place, that it's okay for things to change just as they do. In the Rider-Waite even, this card shows a woman in bed holding her head in her hands. And she's at home. She's safe. But it's her mind that's driving her crazy. So advice to you is towards the end of the month, allow this change that's happening around the new moon. It's really that it's happening in your second house. So it really may be about practical matters, finances, assets, things you own, drawing things to you that you want to have. But don't sweat it too much, Libra. You can kind of do this a little bit. Two of Swords, because this is air energy, which is what Librans are guided and ruled by. And this means indecision, like not knowing whether to go left or right, and therefore checking out. And this means collecting insights from past battles. When I see this card, I sometimes call this card picking up the pieces. This means learning from the past. So it means a lot of different things, but that's what I'm getting for it, for you here in this reading. Make sure that you don't leave these insights, these ideas, beliefs, I'm just getting insights out on the battlefield from past conflicts. Make sure that you collect those pieces of wisdom and those insights from old battles. It's really going to help you with calming your mind and not creating more thoughts about things than there are. It's going to help you with going forward instead of saying, oh, I'm just stuck here forever. This is how it's always going to be. I don't even know which way to go because I can't choose a way forward. Allow time to move it forward for you, Libra. It's almost like surrender to what is actually happening, even if it's in delay, even if it's not going as fast as you want it to go. Try not to overthink it and really receive help in making a plan. That's really going to serve you this month. And set intentions. Based upon insights that you've gotten from the past, you can, around that new moon in November 18th, you can really set intentions about what you want to draw to you over the course of this next year, and especially over the course of the next 6 months. You have Jupiter sitting there in your second house, wanting to rain down blessings, wanting to expand things for you. So take advantage of that. It may not all happen at once, but try not to get too wrapped up in your head. Try to allow things to evolve as they will. And there is a wonderful new beginning here in the middle of the month. If you receive help from like a spiritual counselor, a spiritual guide, they can even plant this idea. This is, fire is spiritual energy too. So you get some sort of spiritual revelation that takes you forward in the middle of the month. If you receive help, make a plan, work on something collaboratively, like with you and your partner or as a group, and you can turn this around. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be going forward together. So however that translates for you, Libra, that's what Amber is saying. Get out of your head. Don't take action though on anything till you plan it in sort of a grounded way. Please give me a card for Libra for love. For what's going on for Libra with love as related to love? Unrequited love. Okay, so it's saying there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. I'm going to be hesitant to apply that to any marriage because I think I'm seeing that things are changing and turning, but overthinking things. For some of you, this may apply if you're trying to start something up and it just doesn't seem to be kicking off the ground. But for those of you who are already in a relationship, unrequited love. I'm seeing that more applying to those of you who are actually starting a new relationship. Because with this wheel and with this Ace of Wands in reverse, Ace of Wands can be a male principle of desire, it can be male desire. So in that particular case, if you're trying to get something off the ground, especially with a fire sign, this is where I'm reading this as applying unrequited love. There's not enough. But those of you who are in a marriage or in a whatever kind of socially acknowledged union, even if there's friction right now, it's worth working through it. So I'm reading that in two separate ways. Those of you who are just sort of chasing fire, you may want to let that one go instead of getting too in your head about it. Versus those who are in a relationship, you just need spiritual advice to base it on something other than just chemistry. What else am I seeing? Please give me an angel oracle card for Libra. Remember, what's the advice that's going to be helpful to Libra in November? What's the information that they could use? Crystal clear intentions. So that is focusing on one thought, one truth. It says, Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So this is really getting clear about what it is you think, getting clear about what your truth is. This is the Excalibur sword that Archangel Michael cuts through anything that is BS, anything that is lies, anything that's deception, anything that is confusion. It's the sword of the truth, and it sets you free. So as you focus upon your crystal clear intentions, one truth, in an unwavering way, just being aligned with that sword of the truth, it actually helps you out of any indecision. It helps you out of any confusion. It helps you I think Virgo got this also, is keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on what it is that you want. Keep your eye on what it is you desire. That's what this card's about, dreaming and creating what it is you want to draw to you. And that's how desire and action is born, is through that crystal clear intention of this is what I want. It's actually magician energy when you're able to put all of your power, focus, and concentration on one thing. That's one sword versus this indecision of two swords. Do I go left? Do I go right? Is this true or is that true? It's when you get clarity on one thing, and this card will help you do it, that takes you completely forward. So that is my reading for you, Libra. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Libra. And feel free to share it on social media. or if you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so below. I'll have email below. And one thing too, I just wanted to add to that is in terms of clarifying, it's literally saying crystal clear intentions, and quartz crystal can help you clarify your thoughts and your intentions. So also around that new moon in Scorpio, if things are changing, you want to get some quartz crystal and just really clarify, what is it that I feel deeply? Because that's Scorpio energy. What do I want to call to the surface in terms of truth? What do I want to begin? Because you have an opportunity to, like, sort of ring this bell of clear intention and take that forward in the next 6 months, in the next year, and draw something to you, Libra, that is really going to be a nice result. As long as you just don't spread out in too many directions, is what it tells me here. So that's a reading for you. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful number, and I will speak with you again next month. Yours in the stars.